7:30. Series of stand-up meetings, go to lunch, and race into shower, change. I go for a run, usually on the trail, around 6:30. I listen to things that stimulate critical thought, like podcasts.
NPR's Bracken Booker reports that while only a small percentage say that they've met a significant other...
My name is Erin Teague. I'm a director of product at Yahoo for the fantasy sports team. I'm responsible for user growth across fantasy sports, focused on daily fantasy, the fantasy app, and the sports app. I want every person on the planet to play and enjoy fantasy sports. I think you know an engineer if they have on a t-shirt that has like a startup logo, flip-flops, khaki shorts, definitely a hoodie. And that's the typical engineer. A non-typical engineer looks like me.
You told me we were going to a 10-mile run.
You are not on a Segway.
And I was like, oh, it would be funny, but I don't know if I can commit to it right now.
Hi. This is awkward. So we're technically in the South Bay, and then if you go up 45 minutes, you're in San Francisco. Growing up in Detroit, California seems so far away. The lack of diversity in Silicon Valley is a pipeline issue, it's an access issue. Every internet company, the numbers are in the very low digits, 1% to 2% African American.
I have a good team. I'll be on the upswing.
You probably came away thinking that the election's about sound bites or fantasy football.
Fantasy football.
I work in a sometimes predominantly male comedy business, and this year I hold the trophy for the league.
This is a hobby. This is a passionate thing. It's not scratching lottery tickets. This is something that people care about.
With 57 million players in 2015, fantasy sports is a $2 billion industry and the fastest growing sports game in the U.S.
Just checking my fantasy teams from last night. I play fantasy on a daily basis with a group of friends. The game is about competition, right? It's all about matchups, it's about injuries, it's about bragging rights. I think you do maximize your day when you can limit the number of just like mundane decisions that you have to make. Yeah, a little bit of online shopping last night. I don't want to have to think about it. Actually, it's painful for me to have to think about what I wear. I pack everything up, everything's in the car, hop in the shower, 15-minute shower, change clothes, and I'm out of here. And I think like an engineer. I get into the office, the first thing I have is a series of stand-up meetings. I start thinking about new features that I want to build. So you just completely redid the invite your friends. We actually should redo that. I might just kind of circle back with various team members, make sure any roadblocks are removed. Ready for lunch?
We're here in the Yahoo cafeteria, and it's intense. Lots of food options, everyone sits really close, but in the heart of Silicon Valley, you gotta have perks if you want people to code and make good shit.
My team is comprised of engineers and designers. Derek does design. Brian is a back-end and is a front-end client-side engineer. Dylan is primarily been Chandan is a back-end engineer. So it is a male-dominated industry. They're coders, they're programmers, they are builders, innovators. They are putting together bits and bytes to change the world.
You both fit in and then don't fit in at all.
Absolutely.
And is that how you feel, or is that just something that's external?
Absolutely. People who grew up in my neighborhood, who are from where I'm from, and who are also Black and a woman, like, generally don't end up in this environment. Like, this is not a predestined path for me.
I told you I was planning on going to the gym tomorrow.
I mean, even like from the time I graduated from college, like going to grad school, going to a place like Harvard, like that, like no one in my neighborhood. Like, to a large extent, the onus is on me to prove my value in every interaction, in every like meeting, in every situation that I'm in. And then that gives me credibility. I am immensely aware of how different I am in this environment. Usually leave the office around 7:30, 8, and it's time to socialize. These friends are people who are just kind of close to me. They are an outlet for me. I brought wine. Cynthia Johansson was a coworker of mine at Twitter.
As a woman in technology, being able to be yourself and yet still be nerdy and yet still also exude authority, that's really hard sometimes to balance. I try to dress up a bit, but not too much. Try not to wear makeup in the office.
When you initially walk into a room with people you don't traditionally work with, there's definitely an assumption that you are not who you are, or you're not positionally the person that you're supposed to be. And so I work to establish credibility by talking through something where I know I'm the expert. Any given Sunday, a variety of things could happen to completely change the landscape of the game. And I have to put in the extra effort early in the morning, at night, on the weekend. At the end of the day, it's about competition, right? And that is really what makes it fun for me.